Hey friends, Mikey Demus here, and today I want to introduce you to one of the most versatile overdrive pedals I've ever used. It's the Angry Rhubarb Paradynamic Overdrive Mark II. So a big problem with overdrive pedals is that there are so many different types of drive and they all kind of do something different. You find yourself needing 3 or 4 different kinds of overdrive pedal on a pedal board just to get all the different sounds that you need. But what if there was one pedal that could do more than just one thing? What if there was a pedal that could stand up to multiple different types of overdrive? Well, this one does exactly that, and in this video I'm going to show you how the Angry Rhubarb holds up against a Tube Screamer, a Vintage Rat, and the almighty Klon Centaur. This pedal was designed by Adrian Thorpe of ThorpyFX and myself for our company Redbeard Effects, which we co-own and co-run together. While this pedal was designed to be really flexible, it's not a Tube Screamer clone, it's not a Rat clone, and it's not a Klon clone. It's not actually a clone of anything, it's just a really flexible pedal that can get you pretty close to a whole range of well-known overdrive tones. I'll talk about some of the actual science of what this pedal does later on in the video, but for now, let's get into it. So I didn't have a traditional Tube Screamer when I shot this video, so I'm using a KHDK Ghoul Screamer, which is a Tube Screamer circuit with some added functionality. I'm not going to be using any of the additional bells and whistles on the Ghoul Screamer, I'm just going to be using it like a traditional Tube Screamer. All right, let's get into it. So I think the Rhubarb does a pretty convincing Tube Screamer impression. I looked up the price of a TS-808 style Tube Screamer. The cheapest I could find in the UK was about £165 or $180 in the US. I'm going to add that to a tally and see what these 3 pedals would set you back as opposed to the Angry Rhubarb. Up next is one of my favourite pedals. It's a vintage 1983 Proco V2 Rat, and it sounds so good. Again, the Angry Rhubarb isn't a Rat clone or even an attempt at one, so let's get into it and see how it sounds. Love the rat, it's really got a character all of its own. I'm including it here not because it's like a tube screamer, quite the opposite. It's a different kind of sound altogether, a bit more high gain, gristly, different kind of mids, and again I think the Angry Rhubarb, which isn't based on either of these types of pedals, does a really convincing impression of the rat. Now a vintage rat could cost you anywhere up to about £500 in the UK, which is about $650 in the US. They're kind of few and far between, and it's not really a fair comparison. So to keep things fair, I'll price up the cheapest rats I could find, which is about £75 in the UK or about $80 in the US, which takes the total so far to...
Now it's time for the science part. The Angry Rhubarb is very unique. In a traditional overdrive pedal, you might find the gain stage fixed before or after the EQ section of a circuit. On the Angry Rhubarb, we did away with that thinking and decided to put a gain knob before and after the EQ. What this allows you to do is hit the EQ section hard or boost what's coming off the EQ section again with a separate gain stage. The real special sauce in this pedal is the unique Paradynamic EQ section because of its semi-parametric design, which responds to the dynamic of your playing and attack. The Freak knob selects a frequency between 80 Hz up to 4 kHz. By subsequently turning the Freak gain knob, the Rhubarb then allows you to boost or cut that frequency by 6 dB. The bandwidth setting within the EQ circuit has been painstakingly designed to grab just the right width of surrounding frequencies to guide your tone through the mix. What you're left with is something very musical that just simply works wonders with your amplifier or other pedals. And that concludes the science part of this video.
Rock and roll.
Okay, so the grand finale, let's get into the Klon Centaur. This pedal requires no introduction. It's special, it's smooth, it's sexy. Let's hear it. So the Klon does its own thing too, and I was really blown away with how close I managed to get the Rhubarb to the tone I pulled up. It really is a really flexible overdrive. So we all know Klons cost silly money. I'm going to stick a very conservatively priced one at 2,500 UK or about 3,300 US dollars. So the total of these is pretty crazy, no thanks to the Klon obviously. No prizes for guessing. The Angry Rhubarb, which can do a really convincing impression of these three and a ton more, comes in at just 199 UK or 249 US. You get a lot of pedal for that, and it's just a fun and inspiring addition to your rig which can cover a lot of ground with tones. Once again, disclaimer time, because I feel like the comment section is going to be people tearing me up about how it doesn't sound exactly like the pedals I'm comparing it to. The point is, the Angry Rhubarb is shapeable, tweakable, flexible, and affordable. The fact that you can really dial in some new exciting tones, as well as familiar ones like the pedals I've been using in this video, is why I think this is a really awesome addition to a pedal board. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe below. Happy tone hunting, and I'll see you in the next video.